Like,
all right. Aside from the Dolphins, where do you think this guy's going? Watson wants out. Where's he going? Aside from
Houston has a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Like, they got the Harden shit, the Westbrook. Now you got Watson. Like, dude, that's sucked.
The water, bro, in Houston because even the Astros got in some shit. So,
dude, yeah, I forgot about that.
Astros, Rockets, Texans.
Dude, Texans is a fucking dumpster fire. Like Texans, oh god, that team. Like, you want to talk about one of the worst coaching spots to go to? To me, it's got to be the Texans. Like, I mean, you have absolutely no cap space. You have no picks. Like,
I read Andre Hopkins.
You're deep. You're tied up with so much money. With
started it. They want to get rid of him, and look what happened. Downhill.
You gotta get fucking Billy O'Brien, fucking dumbass. Like, that guy's never getting a job. But there's no way J.J. Watt's coming back. J.J. Watt's getting cut. That dude makes too much money for what he is. J.J. Watt's not the same guy. He's getting cut.
No, after those injuries, for sure. You know, he still tries hard. He works hard. You know, obviously hard work beats talent. But after the injuries that he's had, that's when he got the deals. When he was, you know, top in his position, right? He was still in the game.
Dude,
and then when you see anything less than that, it sucks, right? Because it's kind of degrading to the player. Like, you gave him that much money for what he was doing, but then and you see anything less, you feel like it's not worth it.
Dude, you know how much cap space him and Watson combined are taking up? $33 million in cap space. Like, that's insane. Like, that's insane. That's wild.
Yeah, I saw some on Twitter bringing it back to Miami. Obviously, one of the best players ever, Hall of Famer, Andre Johnson, who, you know, went to UM, came out and he kind of just kind of made a comment of like how Houston wastes people's careers. Obviously, with him, I think Andre Johnson was never.
That came out today.
Yeah. You know, so him, you know, that's a big thing because, you know, he pretty much played. He stayed his whole career with the Texans, I believe. Yeah,
no, he went to the Colts. 1 year.
Okay, for like 1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
But most of his career. And
he's a leading receiver there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, he just made a comment of like how Houston they waste careers there, and then Deshawn should get out. Which I think is pretty damning. I mean, from an ex-player like that, like obviously you can tell, like Andre Johnson's pretty sour still about his career, how his career went with the Texans. I don't know where it goes unless they trade him away. They want to make him happy, and I don't know what the structure of his contract is. But,
there's not a chance. He has a no trade clause in his thing, bro, so it'd be. And I don't know.
$156 million extensions where he just got.
And that's another problem is that contract. I don't think any team. I don't think there's any team that. That's why a lot of people are tying him with Jacksonville. Like, there's a chance he can come to Jacksonville. And there's been a little bit of buzz in the city about that because we're literally probably the only team that can make the deal worth. Because it's too much. It's like trying to trade Patrick Mahomes. Nobody has enough capital to do that. Like, you have to take on the contract. You have to give up, a shit ton of picks and players. Because this isn't like NBA where you can just make it work. Yeah. And Jackson, that's where they tie it a lot because obviously we're the first number 1 overall pick. We have literally a generational quarterback coming out, Trevor Lawrence. So it's like the Houston gets them. And we have cap space to pay Deshaun Watson. But first off, I don't want that. Deshaun Watson has 2 ripped ACLs in both knees. So, and I get it, he's in his prime, but like we have a lot of other issues that we need to fill up. And I'd rather get supplemental guys. And that's one reason I don't see him leaving. And 2, they'll be stupid to let him go. Even if they were to figure something out, like, why would you let him go? Like, you literally, a GM and a coach's job literally comes to NFL. Your number 1 priority. What is your number 1 priority? Getting a franchise quarterback. And you want to be known as the guy who got rid of him? Look at fucking Bill O'Brien when he got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Like, and then I can see why he gets pissed too, because like then they go and hire this Patriots guy. How many times are you going to hire a Patriots guy? These guys don't fucking work. Like there's only 2 guys that ever worked, and it seems like Brian Flores is going to be one of them. And then the other guy looks like
Tank.
The other guy is Vrabel from Tennessee. Those are the only two guys that from that tree that looks like they did something. Matt Patricia just got fired. Bill O'Brien got fired. And then you're going to sit here and hire another Patriot as the director of player personnel, knowing. And why would you hire him? Look at the Patriot squad. They look like ass. Cam Newton had nobody to throw to. You want to talk about no weapons? Tua, yeah, he had no weapons. Fucking Cam Newton had absolutely jack shit. He had high school guys
injured children.
He had absolutely nobody. Like,
crazy.
Granted, he played bad, and I don't think he's going to be a starter again. But he also did have nobody to throw to in his defense. But
all right, so overall, you feel like he's staying in Houston, right? One, it would be stupid for them to do, and no one could take over his contract overall.
The contract, yes, but I don't see how anybody could compensate what it would cost. Like, it's just...
It'd be a lot.
There were rumors going around with a potential trade towards San Francisco.
With Deshawn Watson?
Yeah.
No, I don't see any... I genuinely believe the only team that could possibly do something is Jacksonville. Like, I don't see how San Francisco could do it. San Francisco, like... If I was San Francisco, I'd get Matt Stafford. You get Matt Stafford, you're winning a Super Bowl. Best believe it. Like, they were a quarterback away. Like, and I don't think, like, you would have to give up a lot of defensive pieces, which Houston needs. Houston has literally an awful defense. And defense is what makes it. I don't see where you go. Like, I mean, Patriots have got shit. Like, nobody could take it's. Literally, him and Patrick Mahomes are the two guys that are literally untradeable. Like, they're worth too much. Nobody could give them up. I don't know what you would do unless you just give up year after year after year first round picks. But like, how are you going to build a team?
I don't know. We'll see. I think the draft comes up in March, right? So March, I think, is when the combine is.
We're still in the midst of playoffs, man, with a lot of action going on here. But let's talk about these Ravens Bills coming up.